Hey Flosstube, it is SJ from fanSTITCHtic. It's been a long time. I think it's been like 8 months since I've done a Flosstube, but there's reasons. I was going through a lot since August. There's been a lot happening. I'm sure it has for everyone. We had the lockdown again, and that wasn't pretty. Went into tier 4, which didn't help either. I went through a heartbreak, which is probably the main reason why I just wasn't in the mood to put my face out there. And I found out my stepdad had prostate cancer, but that's all good now, and he's had his operation to remove it. So he's back on track, which is great. And then I had a few medical issues with myself, with my PMDD, and also with finding out about my knee. There's issues with my knee, and so I'm waiting on physio. And for the moment, I'm trying to build up the core strength in my knee, in the muscles. So I've put on an exercise bike, which I'm trying to do every day. And then I've joined a challenge through Conqueror Challenges. So at the moment I'm trying to cycle Kruger National Trail in South Africa. So basically you log every day the miles that you're doing, and you can follow yourself up the virtual trail in Kruger National Park. It's got Google Street View, so sometimes you can see animals along the trail, which is really cute. And then you get postcards when you complete a set amount of miles, and you are able to plant trees. So I've planted a tree yesterday when I did 20% of the journey. Well, that's exciting, and it's all helping to build up the muscle in my knee. And I'll do some physio and see what the physio says about whether or not maybe operation. I'm not too sure. So yeah, it's all been a bit of a whirlwind, but overwhelming. And all the time I've been doing, now I'm back at school, which has been a rock. My work has been able to put me back on track in myself. And then I got a new bunny, which I shall show you in a second. And she's really helped me as well. She's called Tofu after the food. So I shall introduce you guys to her in a second. And what else have I been doing? I've been doing my British Sign Language level 3, and I've got exams coming up after Easter. I've got 5 exams to complete for my level 3. One is a written exam on deaf culture, so that's what I'm going to be doing over Easter, is revising deaf culture so that I can do that exam after Easter. Then I've got a receptive exam where I watch somebody sign in and then I have to translate it. Then after that I have a presentation where I have to give a presentation on a subject, a topic which they'll give me in sign language. And my friend did it last year, and her subject topic was plastic, so she talked about the environment and recycling. So it'd be interesting to see what subject I get. And then the last 2 exams are all to do with conversation 101, and then conversation within a group while signing, or through sign language, not while signing. So yeah, that's exciting, and I'm hoping to pass, although that can be quite overwhelming too, having to remember and learn all this stuff and feeling like you're not good enough, which, you know, we all feel when we do things. And just about building up my confidence, really, after having a hard 8 months. But on a different note, I'm going to go and get my tofu to introduce you to tofu, and then I'll get on with my stitching and catch you up with my stitching. And yeah, this will be my first of many floss tubes now that I'm back to being me. back in a minute. Stay right there. So this here is my baby Tofu, who's enjoying her parsley, and she is so adorable. She is a mini lop. She's dropping the parsley everywhere. She's going to jump down in a minute to eat it up. She's a mini lop and she's only 4 months old. And I've just started introducing her to some herbs. So she's eating some parsley here, because they can only start having introduction to vegetables and fruits and herbs when they've turned 4 months old. So she's just turned 4 months old. So I'm just trying to introduce her to some. I keep checking her poops. That sounds really weird, but that's what you have to do to make sure that it's not having a strange reaction to her. And she gives me kisses on my noses. So she got a little bit spooked because the cat came in, and she hasn't completely bonded to the cat yet. But I've calmed her back down and she's much more calmer now. Oh, my hair's in your eyes. Don't like that, do you? So I'm going to put her away, and then we're going to get on with the stitching. And you're going to say goodbye to your new friends. Say goodbye. So I've popped Tofu back away now. I have a cage for her that she stays in at night time when I'm sleeping, just to keep her safe. And then throughout the day, if I'm at work or I'm not here, or my family aren't here, then she goes in the cage again to keep her safe. And then when we're here, she comes out and we let her free roam around the house, well, around my part of the house, and we put the cats in the other part of the house. Because they're not fully bonded yet, they have to be supervised when they're together. So a couple of times throughout the day, we will open the doors up, and the cats and the bunny Tofu will be curious around each other, and over time they'll slowly, hopefully, start to bond. At the moment we're at the curious stage where they're kind of sniffing at each other and checking each other out, but the cats seem to be more scared of Tofu than Tofu is of the cat. So Tofu's really curious and really wants to get to know what these other animals are in the house, and the cats will stay there and be okay until Tofu starts to like bounce up and sniff at them, and then they'll like cower in a corner a little bit scared. So it's quite interesting to see that actually the cats are more scared of the bunny than the bunny is of the cats, which I thought would be that way. But I absolutely love having her hopping around. I get her out as soon as I get up in the morning, feed her pellets, she hops around a bit. And then I have a little introduction with the cats, and then put the cats back away again in the other part of the house. I take her outside on a lead. I've got like a little lead to take her outside while I'm waiting for the outdoor pen to be delivered, so that I can take her outdoors without the lead, and she can go in the pen and she can have a hop around by herself without me having her on the lead. But I just want to keep her safe for the moment, because she's still a baby. She's still learning, but she's had all her jabs, so that's exciting. And at 6-7 months I can start to look at having her neutered, because as a female bunny it's suggested that they're neutered because they can have complications later on in life if they're not. So I'll have a look a little bit more into that, research that a bit more, and then book her in for her neutering. Because yeah, and then maybe after she's neutered I can maybe look into getting her a friend, and bonding her to another bunny. But you have to wait until they're neutered before then. Both bunnies have to be neutered before you bond. So yeah, it's all exciting, and she's absolutely gorgeous. She keeps me on my toes. She's a little bit of a character when she's jumping around. She's not fully potty trained yet either, or litter trained yet, so I find a few loose poops around the room, and she's had a few accidents as well, wee wise, but you know, she's a baby, she's learning, and it takes a while for them to be litter trained apparently. So but she's very trusting with me. When I was researching about getting a bunny, and whether or not I'd be able to give the time for a bunny, because they require a lot of time. Yeah, they said that, you know, they don't like being picked up, and that they take a while to bond to you. But actually, she's bonded quite quickly to me. She doesn't mind being picked up. She's really calm when I'm holding her, giving her a little cuddle. She jumps up on my bed with me and snuggles in the mornings for a cuddle when I'm in bed. So she's really loving already. And then like she gives me kisses on my nose when she wants food. So yeah, she's really sweet. But anyway, enough about the bunny. We're going to get on to the stitching. But you can tell I'm smitten about her, right? So, stitching. There's been a lot, for me anyway, of projects that I've kind of just delved into to kind of take my mind off of what was happening and focus it onto something to stop me from going crazy. But so I've done a few for me, and well, you know how long they take. So actually I've done a lot for how long cross stitching takes sometimes when you haven't got the time to do it and you're trying to fit it in, or if your mind's not in the right place to do it and you're trying to get your mind to focus. So the first thing I finished since my last video 8 months ago was the ice cream for Summer SAL, which is right here. And this is a SAL that I organised and designed and put out there over summer for 8 weeks. So every week there was a new ice cream. And this is the finished design. So we've got a Neapolitan ice cream, a fruit pastel lollipop, a fab, a bubble gum, a 99er. You can't do an ice cream SAL without a 99er, right? Twister, a screwball, and then a Neapolitan sundae. I've still got to like iron it out and frame it, which is the case with most of my cross stitching. It's one of the things that I'm really bad at, is actually fully finishing a project by ironing it and framing it and put it in my room somewhere. I have got a drawer full of things that I need to iron and frame, which actually I might get to do because it's Easter holidays. So while I'm revising this week and next week, I can also order things to be able to frame these properly. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. It's exactly what I'm going to do. So this is now finished, and you can still find this on my blog or on my Facebook page if you wanted to do it yourself. And it's free, so you're more than welcome to go onto my blog, on my Facebook page, a group even, and find it and do it. And I'd love to see different fabrics, because there was somebody that did it on green. It looked awesome. So yeah, I finished that one, and then I started a design by Witchy Stitcher called a Antisocial Bat, I think, something like that. That's what I'm going to call it, because it's basically, that's what it is. And it says that I am not a social butterfly. I am antisocial bat lurking in the darkness. And these aren't the colours that it was called for. I did different colours. But I've got DMC blacks and greys. And then I used a Weeks Dye Works for the writing, which is blackberry. And it's like a mottled effect between like purples and reds. And I did the middle of the eye in that colour too. And then the skeleton I did in DMC glow in the dark. So when I turn out the lights, it glows in the dark. And it is awesome. But honestly, I can't really show you, but there is a picture on my Instagram of it glowing away in the dark, and it does look awesome. So I think the eye glows in the dark as well. The little sparkle in the eye glows in the dark too. So yeah, it looks fantastic. So again, I need to iron it and frame it so that I can see it at night. It might spook me out though, right? If I suddenly see this thing like glowing in the middle of the night, I might be like, what's that? And then be like, oh yeah, it's my stitching. I'm just going to have a quick swig of tea. Oh, nice and hot. Oh, that's better. So, on to the next piece. I finished Ice Cream for Summer, and I finished the Witchy Stitcher. And then I was also doing the Harry Potter Hogwarts Letters from Hogwarts SAL by Cunning Crossstitch. And that's finished now. He's now on to 2 new designs. Yes, 2. He is doing a Magic Kingdom Disney SAL, and he's doing an Animal Crossing SAL as well. I'm not doing the Animal Crossing one because I'm not really into Animal Crossing, but I may do the Magic Kingdom SAL once I finished a few other projects, because I really want to get the projects that I started finished. I've got 12 whips at the moment, so I kind of want to get them finished. But this is the Hogwarts SAL, and that is now finished, and again it needs to be ironed and framed. And the last two sections that I did was Honeydukes. I spoke about Honeydukes and going to Hogsmeade, and I chose Honeydukes and all the confectionery. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And then the next section was the Slughorn's Club, and I chose to do the potion inside of the cauldron, and you got to choose different things coming out of the cauldron. So I chose a cookie, you can just about see it there, because I like cookies. I chose a fire because I like crackling fires, and then I chose raindrops because I like the sound of rain. So you could choose different smells or sounds to go coming out of your potion. And then the last one we did was there, and that is the Patronus, and I chose an otter. I don't really have a set Patronus. If I was going to have a set Patronus, it'd be like a llama because I love llamas, or a bunny because I like bunnies, but I saw this otter on the design and I just like, yeah, I like the otter, and I did it in the Great Hall. There was different settings to choose and then different Patronuses to choose, to really make it your own. And there we are, it's gorgeous in this Great Hall, absolutely huge. And you can see a picture of that again on my Instagram, all laid out. I just need to again iron it and get it. I want to get this one professionally framed though, just because it's a big piece and it's taken a lot of time, and I wouldn't trust myself framing it because it's so big. The other pieces are a bit smaller, they're easier to frame. This is a bit bigger, so it's harder to frame. So I finished that. Then there's the Purple Peppermint Year of Blackwork SAL. I'll take it out of the R&R frame so that you can see it easier. There we go. And I haven't finished this one. This is last year's Year of Blackwork. She's doing another one again this year. And I've still got a few more squares to do, and I've run out of room because I measured the fabric wrong. Rookie mistake, right? I should know that by now, but we still do rookie mistakes. And the quote that I've gone for is Dum Spiro Spero, which now I know why I did that as the quote. I just need to remember it in my bleeding head. While I breathe, I hope. So this was being stitched all throughout last year, starting from the beginning. So before we even knew about COVID, and then all the way throughout lockdown and stuff, and then it got to like towards October when I was finishing it, doing because I got lost in weeks as we do, and I was catching up in October, and I chose that quote for that end one after googling because I thought it fit really nicely, to do with the whole coronavirus thing, that, you know, while we breathe, that we hope that, you know, there'll be an end to the madness, and also while I breathe, I hope that there'll be an end to what I was going through at the time. And it's still a little bit sore, a little bit difficult to talk about things that happened, and it still hurts. The heartbreak still hurts. I don't think it'll ever not hurt. So to say, people say time is a great healer, so I'm just going along with time, and hopefully one day I'll meet somebody else that will make me feel the way he did, and everything will be okay. and I will be, yeah, able to give my heart again to somebody else. But for the moment, I'm back to being single, which seems to be a recurring thing for me. It's been 2 years, and then I met that boy, and now it's gonna start all over again. So yeah, it's good to be. I'm accepting it now. I'm accepting the singledom now. Seems to be that it's a reoccurring. It's a where I'm going to be at for a while, because I need to reconnect with myself again. I did some really good connecting with myself up until August. Then things happened. I disconnected with myself, and now I need to reconnect with myself. So I'm not really going to rush into anything. One, because how can we at the moment? Everything's still kind of shut down, locked down. So when things open back up again, then I can start to kind of dip my toe in that water again and meet new people, and maybe be able to trust somebody enough to jump into that territory again. But for the moment, that territory is definitely staying single. But yeah, so yeah, that piece is not still finished, but I've saved all the stitchings, the releases, so that I can finish it. And then I also was doing, which one's this? Oh yes, this is the Haunted Mansion piece. That was part of a free, like, on your own sale kind of thing. It wasn't released weekly or whatever. Lollipop Stitches did it as like a kind of like, let's stitch it all together and finish it when we finish it kind of thing. And I really haven't got anywhere that far. I've only started the top line, and there's still loads to go. And I've done it on this fabric that I dyed myself in greens. I was going to do it in purple, but because that purple matches the logo colours of the Haunted Mansion. But I like green because green is kind of spooky and reminds me more of a horror house than purple does. So I went for the green, and I thought purple might be a bit dark for the colours, whereas green's much lighter. So I haven't got anywhere near finished on that one at all, but that is the Haunted Mansion, and it's by Good Morning Maui, and it is stitched at the moment on a hand dyed 18 count. I tend to stitch everything on 18 count. I like 18 count. So I hand dyed that fabric myself, and it's in a lovely little bag that my mummy made for me, which is in a different video, so I won't talk about that. And then lastly, what I've been focusing on mainly the last few weeks is my Disney SAL. My Disney blanket, because I've just been talking about a SAL. And this is huge blanket. Ooh. It's got 28 squares on there, and I'm going to stitch 14. I've got a Lion King so far. They're all going to be Disney themed. I've got Oliver and Company. I've got Rapunzel right there. I have Atlantis, this one you haven't seen. So this is Kida from Atlantis. And Atlantis is one of my favourite films. And then I just finished yesterday this Peter Pan one. Peter Pan inspired. And then the next square is ready to go. But I'm not telling you what Disney film it's going to be. That's the fun of it all. I put my 14 favourite Disney films into like a decision maker spinner thing, and so it chooses for me, and then I find a picture that I like, a scene that I like, and that's what I stitch. So I did the spinning yesterday. I have sorted out the pattern. I know what I'm stitching, and I'm going to start stitching that later today. It's exciting. So yes, that's exciting. And I'll let you guys guess in Instagram when I start posting some updates on that. And then I've got still a load of other projects left to do. I haven't done any more on The Little Mermaid from Thomas Kincaid. I haven't done any more on my DMC sampler, which has been going on for years. What else have I got there? The others are embroideries. I want to do embroideries of all the British Sign Language alphabet shapes, EFG, HIJK, and so I've got some embroideries ready to go for that. I need to do them, and then I've got 2 more projects on there that I'm not really going to talk about because at the moment I'm designing 2 SALs myself, hoping to release them for next year, and that is as much as I'm saying at the moment because I'm still working on them. So yeah, that is lots of stitching done, lots of stitching to do, and it's actually been really nice and therapeutic to do this Flosstube again and to show you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope I didn't talk too much or just and I hope you enjoy seeing the stitching, and I shall do some more updates for you, some more Flosstubes for you monthly, and it'll be really good to see some comments again and see how you're all doing, and I shall see you all real soon. See you later, bye.